You are now watching Farming with Duffy Ag.
Good morning. So here we are, day 2 of discing. Hopefully getting some seed in the ground today. We will see. Pretty excited. Gonna get back into discing. Got some parts that I gotta figure out. We gotta pull that hydraulic line off the planter first, and make sure we get the bolts for the scrapers, because when we left off in the last episode, I took the scrapers off because the bolts were junk and I didn't have them. And well, as you see, we have some issues. So that is where we're at. That one's still tight. Took 2 scrapers off. So gotta figure those out. Now we're ready to go, somewhat. So corn planter's good. He ran to get the hydraulic, or the fertilizer pump. So we got to switch that out, plumb everything, calibrate it to like 4.5, 5 miles an hour. And this line that I made, that I used last year off the parts planter, grabbing one of them. This, built new spacers to go inside. Put both scrapers back on, so we're good there. Took this wheel bearing apart that jerry rigged, put a washer in it, but I got the numbers off of it, so he's actually running to get some wheel bearings, or some bearings, so that I have them on hand, so that when that does fail, I can just swap it out. So, but I'm gonna go hammer out some acreage. He's gonna be gone. As you see, I made a mess in the driveway. Probably should pick up my bolts. In the time that he's gone getting the fertilizer pump, stuff like that, I'll probably hammer out another 10-15 acres. So that's why I'm gonna keep running it, maybe even longer. He's got to go to Fitchburg, since the local bearing place didn't have it, but their other store, they had 3 of them. And then what am I doing? He's got to go Granger, and he's got to go JPM and Lowell for the hydraulics. So I got a crew in front of me, actually, that is picking rocks and trimming trees. So that's pretty cool. I'm gonna try to utilize as much as I can of them all day. But in the meantime, Yank was running around naked because I forgot to put his collar on this morning. We left so quick. And it's sitting on the steps. Say hello to everybody. It's gonna be a good morning. So I got my makeshift cap on there, which worked awesome. Yeah, I know, we're getting it done. But yeah, these discs, driving in this morning, we'll look at it when we get over towards them. Driving in this morning, the fields, killer. Pretty pumped about it. I didn't film when I came over and chisel plowed this. That was the day, that night when it was dark. But they built this wider and they never actually made it any better. Or they built it and they never made it wider. Plenty of water though. Just not smart thinking. Hammer time. Yeah, so this is why I carry this around, because rocks. So we'll just hammer that out of there, get you a good angle. Rock farming, ain't that fun? Look at that little guy. If you leave them, let them grow, they'll be bigger next year. Maybe we'll replant it. Just kidding. That is why there's so many stone walls. They use them as boundary lines, but when they built fields and changed them from pasture to fields, they picked rocks, built stone walls. Right? Where were you? You didn't help me pick any rocks. Takes no time at all to cover some acreage with these discs. Way better. So last year, if you hadn't watched any of the videos, we had a set of 12 footers. They were good, but nowhere near the efficiency of these. So these measure out at 20, 22. And they just do a much better job. The 12 footers were good, but you got a little knoll every 12 foot. So. Doing pretty good. The tire's still good, right? Yeah. Big upgrade. Really big upgrade with these, so been nice. But I'm gonna move it down to some bigger sections of fields that my father offered to take over. So he's gonna jump in and go discing on that. I'll just get a move there. And then I'm gonna get the planter ready. So got the pump and the hydraulic line that I needed. We're filling it up. I'll top it off. I've done, I don't know, 30 acres and I use like a quarter of a tank maybe. I wasn't full, so all I know is this thing is efficiency of what we used to do. We're like double, probably over double. So that alone has been nice. And this thing really doesn't burn that much fuel. It hazes and everybody says, oh, put oil or this in the fuel. I probably should do that since the older motors, but everyone that I've seen hazes a little till it really gets a load underneath it. But the reason why it's got more horsepower is somebody put an 11 millimeter pump on there instead of a 10 millimeter. Because that pump, if you watch previous videos, right there is still tied from the factory. So that means nobody's been in there to turn the screw and add more fuel to it. Which I always wondered what we made. And if you haven't watched those videos, go back. We did a whole 2-day episode of dynoing tractors, both ours and Frank Matheson's, so green and red tractors. So you get a good mix in case you're a red fan or a green fan. I'm making sure that doesn't overflow. That tank's empty. They're bringing us fuel later today. The tractor's filled. This will be full. But yeah, somebody previously said 7520 only makes 176 horsepower. That's what the Nebraska test says, but we dynoed this and at the PTO it was 235 at 1,000 horsepower, 1,000 RPM. So Motor's probably 245, maybe 250. But it's a healthy 250. Like, that runs like a champ. Little old part. Yeah, there's a lot of play in it. Oh, new part. They're all tight together. That'll do. Yeah. Gotta get your hands dirty some days. So pack the grease cone so it's not just dry when you put it in there. So put in your palm and just push it underneath all the extra. Pick it back up. People wonder why my hands get dirty. In high school, our teacher had us do it. Taught us like men. They do it. We do have a thing that does it, but it takes too long. Getting your hands dirty is a good thing. So we did get inner and outer. We're unsure of the seal. Was a number on the back of this one. They said, "Oh, bring it in. We'll figure it out." I said, "Well, it's working right now. If you don't have it, I'm not going to bring it in and then risk not having it and ruin the one to get it out." But there we go. Put the outer in that. The inner never took it out because of the seal, but that is so much tighter. So doesn't use much weight. The 4 inner that run down the road, those are all good. It's the outer ones that probably never got changed and just run, because technically you could run without that tire if you needed to. Wouldn't be great, but wouldn't be bad. So well, the first day is always a good thing if it fights you. New pump, then it didn't work. Connector that I had just put in, that was used. Now I know why it was used. That was junk. Got it all wired up. New lines. Went to calibrate feed, or fertilizer. And this one blew apart on me. Stuff leaked everywhere. Lost the disc. Now we're back together. It was leaking. Now we're good. So I'm gonna move the 7520 down to one of the bigger fields so that my father can run that, and then hopefully he does that one and one other one. So ooh, almost dropped you. Well, come on, bud. We'll go down there, and he doesn't like running it on the road with the duals being wide. So, and I don't want something to happen and have it get hit and have a problem. You gotta go a little faster. Dang, that's good looking. Here goes nothing. Might as well give it a full send. You ready? He is ready to plant corn. I got him, and like 2 days later when I got him, we went planting, so he knows the deal. Well, as you saw, started planting corn. I figured I'd cut that video off because I'm not all about making videos that are 60 minutes long. So, with that being said, I appreciate you guys watching, but as you know, next video It's gonna be some corn planting in action, which is sweet. So currently I'm 2/3 of the way done. It's Monday morning. I don't even know what date it is. The 10th. The 10th. I don't know. But we're hammering in corn. A lot of content coming to you guys. So appreciate you watching, liking, subscribing, commenting, and the channel growing. So thank you and have a good one.